This was supposed to be it. This could have been it. Order restored.
After the derailments of the Jeremy Corbyn years and the chaos of Brexit, Keir Starmer's ascendancy to the prime ministership is interpreted by some in the media as a sign that pragmatism, technocracy, and measured, sensible centrism is back. The darkness represented by Nigel and his ilk has been cast out. It only helps to confirm this narrative that Keir's victory seems to mirror that of Joe Biden, who's managed to return 2000s-era liberalism to the White House a few years earlier. Keir's victory even seems, on paper, inarguable. With 411 out of a possible 650 seats in the House of Commons, his promise of change has gifted him the fourth largest majority in Parliament ever. It's not that Keir hadn't set himself up for success. In fact, his victory had been the result of remarkable planning. The number of actual votes the Labour Party had received hadn't changed all that much from the previous election, with Keir increasing Labour's vote share by just 1.6%, which isn't to say that there isn't a genuine mood for change in the air. But what Keir has managed to do is achieve an exceptionally efficient election campaign. Aware of the infighting which had frustrated Jeremy Corbyn's leadership of the Labour Party, Keir has also worked to eliminate any and all opposition from within his own party by effectively banning left-wing candidates from standing and replacing them with those perceived to be loyal to the Starmer project.
Once in power, however, exactly what the Starmer project is becomes foggier than ever.
This becomes most shameless in matters of foreign policy. After Joe Biden is replaced by a resurgent Donald Trump, Keir has to regularly appear in press conferences alongside a man who represents exactly the kind of chaotic populism he despises.
And yet, he opts to bend the knee.
This includes the former human rights lawyer defending Israel's cutting off of power to Gaza, and despite later criticising the country's ongoing genocide, defending the export of UK-made fighter jet parts to the offending state. Less than a month after taking power, Keir's Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, stands up in the House of Commons and purports to reveal a hitherto unknown £22 billion black hole in the nation's yearly finances.
But to Keir and his team, it provides a useful opportunity to do, well, even less than they'd promised.
His government doesn't quite become one of absolute austerity, and yet neither does it seem genuinely confident about its willingness to invest in the country and its people.
Where fresh investment does come is in the form of increased military spending.
Keir announces a £13.4 billion hike in defence spending. He orders new nuclear weapons and the planes to drop them. As cuts are made to welfare spending owing to an apparent lack of funds, the cap on arms spending seems to have no limit.
In fact, what counts for a job strategy is increasingly also largely built around the arms industry.
More than anything, however, Keir seems to dedicate as much of his time as possible to telling the nation how he's going to smash the gangs, profiting from asylum seekers crossing the English Channel.
The light progressivism and promises of investment in public services which were made during the election campaign are replaced by a small c conservatism of fear and loathing.